Okay, so the second digital session of the day, we're going to say hello to Sevim Aslan.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello. Welcome to the sixth Vardia. And I'm going to quickly introduce us. So we are here with 10 students. I am Orkun Kasap, and my friends from DETH Zurich and David Yeni and Seren Ercan are also here, tutoring, and also our colleague Nizam Onur Sönmez from the Istanbul Technical University is here with us. And we're doing a workshop on the topic of digital fabrication in architecture, using a robotic arm and a 3D printer, and developing tools to shape and manipulate a sand within a box, basically creating landscapes. Good. I'm going to quickly introduce Sevim Aslan here, and then I'll let her take it over. So after graduation, Sevim Aslan completed her MA at the Department of Restoration with her advisor, Professor Dr. Doğan Kuban. Her thesis is entitled The Structural Analysis of the Ancient City of Antalya Perga, the Southern Turkish Baths. In 1994, together with Deniz Aslan, she founded DS Architecture to focus on landscape architecture and documentation. She experimented with the survey methods developed by DS to use 3D optical measurements in a format that can be integrated into architectural drawings. Sevim Aslan has also been teaching measurement methods as part of the conservation classes at Istanbul Bilgi University, Faculty of Architecture, during the fall semester of 2013. And she's also shared her experience as a guest speaker at Istanbul MEF University, Faculty of Architecture last year. So I'm going to thank you again, Sevim, for joining us, and I'll please go ahead with your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say that I'm honored to be a guest speaker today at this event. Venice has a special place in my heart since my childhood. I would like to begin my speech with three questions. The first is, what are the architectural biennials for? Well, it's an opportunity to rethink and to recreate thoughts about the actual problems of architecture and everyday life all around us. And the second, who are the architectural biennials for? To me, it's for the general public, for everyone, but especially for architectural students who are seeking new lights in their heart. And finally, what is the purpose of the architectural biennials? I always believe that the purpose is to gather people to share the space and ideas and to inspire mental connection among the attendees of this event. On the other hand, whereas biennials held locally touch upon the locality more, internationally held biennials, such as Venice, pull many ideas to bring about a wide range of topics and issues to improve architecture as a whole. Every guest speaker has a duty to provide insights of how he or she creates their journey, their career path to reach their goals. All these paths lead to a common goal in architecture, as the proverb, all roads lead to Rome. And in this case, we should say all roads lead to Venice. So, in short, architectural students should be aware that they can create their own paths, and our paths are a few to inspire them to be better. Well, now allow me to shed light into my path. I will try to share the screen. So I began Faculty of Architecture of Istanbul Technical University in 1982 and graduated in 87 with an undergraduate degree in architecture. About 2 years into my studies in 84, I was blessed with the opportunity of becoming a part of an archaeological excavation on a site called Perga, south of Turkey, which had witnessed nearly 2,000 years of human activity. This intermittent work of 10 summers of 2 months of archaeology added a score of benefits to me as an architect. Archaeology with constant discovery of artifacts, to me, became a detective work of thinking and proving how small pieces fit together to make a moving machine, as to speak. And also, let's not forget the inspiration that I got from the art that was discovered with mosaics, as an example, which benefited my artistic soul as a surveyor and designer. This way of thinking, how now helps me to run our company, to see how all pieces in a firm can fit together and to run it smoothly. On the other hand, inspiration in art helps me today to feel the beauty and the optimal uses and functionality of structures and spaces. So I can very easily state that this archaeological role that was given to me was actually 10 years of bliss and happiness. Upon my graduation in 87, I was so impressed by Parque, archaeological site, that I decided to further my studies with a master's degree and as the subject of my thesis. I opted for a Roman era structure in the site, which was called the Southern Bath. In later years, second bath complex called Northern Bath was dug out and discovered, but I chose the southern one. The goal was a total analysis, the structure. Upon completing my master's in 1901, I was offered an internship in Munich, Germany, for a period of 3 months. I believe that, like the previous phases of my path, this was a game changer for my career. So, what did we do in the architectural office of Mr. Franz Herzl? We surveyed the structural history of buildings. During my 3 month internship, we managed to survey 3 projects in total. The first was a residence in Augsburg, what you see now. The second was a farm complex in Steingarten, and the final one was again a residence in Erlangen. I have chosen to specify these early projects because during these projects I have learned the techniques of placing dots in 3-dimensional space whose global positions are known, and filling the blanks with more conventional methods, and in turn coming up with a more accurate result. In the recent and new surveying awareness was my best partner during my stay in Germany, and I found a great metaphorical home in this beautiful area of study. Well, I married my spouse Deniz in 1994, and our son Ali was born in 95. Deniz is an architect too, but specialized in landscaping. Early on in marriage, we set up our architectural firm, bringing together 2 atypical schools of thought: surveying, which is my job, and landscaping, which is his successfully, which I'm pleased to say that we have. Our company was founded in 1994. And for the first few years, it was a home office, and this allowed me to put little pieces management together to form a system. And later we established our office building, and presently we are 25 architects and landscape architects working seamlessly together in our projects. The small pieces making bigger pieces of the business system was the legacy of the 10 years archaeological work I had done those memorable hot summers. I have selected a few projects among those done by our firm to share with you. To able to locate correctly the architectural survey studies that I mentioned, maybe it will be useful to create a relational scheme. Preservation is the main title. Underneath, there are structural and material analysis, research on history, and so on as important topics, along with documentation works. And documentation only makes sense along with the verbal and written surveys and with the architectural surveys. It requires a work of multidisciplinary input in every stage. Let's take a look at our first project. It's in Cappadocia. It was 1999, I think, and it was in Cappadocia, Uçhisar, Nevşehir. It was about a surveying project, also about a cave complex, 7,000 square meter of scale and 200 rooms. And our goal was measure all the space, manual and with minimum digital equipment. It means total station without laser. So our second project. I chose the second project from Istanbul. It was a industrial archaeological site, a power station, and presently used as a university campus, Central Istanbul, Bilgi University. Here we used manual measurement techniques and total station, but this time with laser. So the third one is also from Istanbul, a former bank building and presently used as a cultural center, South Galata. We used here 4 different techniques. These were manual, total station, and 3D scanner and photogrammetry. And this is a institutional blueprint. It shows the history of the former bank building. So, and the final project. I chose this project because it has a different layers. It's from Antakya, southeast of Turkey, very near, very close to the border of Syria, and 70,000 square meter of scale. There was an excavation of a hotel basement, and the hotel will be built on the site. Our goal was to survey the site, to design towards the conservation of the site. It consists of emerging protection design, conservation project of the site, and consultancy to the conservation team. You can see the hotel complex. And the work after the conservation work. Marbles, mosaics. So, yeah, to get more information, you can visit our website. This is the www.dsvmalik.com. Can you see me now?
Thank you, Sevim, very much for your presentation. Yeah, we can. Oh, we can't hear you. Sorry, we can't see you at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. I want to say. I want to say something else. I can.
Do you have your camera turned on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Could you maybe try to turn it on and off again, the camera?
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. I want to say some last words, maybe. Actually, the team is so different and to different angles and experience and synergy. So we would like to host you, if you can, in Istanbul. And actually, and in conclusion, in my humble opinion, I want to say surveyors bring together technologies to achieve maximum accuracy. So surveying creates a solid foundation and platform for a project, which should be handled delicately as a surgical intervention. So I would like to thank the Vario team for granting me this opportunity to share my path. And I thank all of you for your patience. I hope my path can be an example to other paths. Thank you.
Thank you, Sevim. That was actually indeed very inspiring. I actually didn't know that that you've been involved in these very recent and important milestone projects such as Istanbul Big University. I think it is in the middle of Istanbul quite an example of how you can transform such a place into an amazing location for learning and for art and culture. Hope that it will continue in that way. I'm going to first try to see if our students have any questions regarding your presentation. And if not, we're going to continue with a few more comments about your statements about the Biennale, maybe. So, any questions from regarding Sevim's presentation? Not for the moment. But actually, I'm curious to hear your opinion, because you said, without having us to ask what the Biennale is for, your three statements, which are quite nice, and I agree with them, especially the first one where you said the Biennale is an opportunity to meet, to see to see the actual problems of architecture.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you really think the Biennale, or at least and more specifically the Venice Biennale, is serving this purpose?
Yeah. Especially because of the space, the aura, and I think all the biennales, maybe international ones, but in Venice, I think it's maybe surface of the water. It's a pool, and pool also the ideas. So it's very interesting to touch the stones, to walk around the very interesting spaces and narrow streets. And all of these can be an inspiration motif. So yeah, I think it's an idea pool, an inspiration pool, Venice Biennial.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, of course, Venice is an exceptional place, definitely so, especially for concerning its spatial qualities and the fact that it feels like the center of the world for architects, especially for the last couple of decades. I maybe to further discuss this, because our students had the chance to see the Biennale in the last 2 days. Maybe I could ask them, because you said that the Biennale is for everyone, but especially students of architecture. I would like to quickly ask our students, do you think that this is do you feel like you were really engaged or challenged by the Biennale? Did you see something new? Did you get inspired? Or did you feel like this is a turning point in your life? Or is it something that you would see everywhere? Because of course, the last decade, it's changed quite a lot. Our access to information has increased, right? We see most of the stuff here, if not by coming here by internet, by online sources. Does it make a difference to be here, to be on the spot in the location? Or do you think you could have as well seen it in books or on online and it would have been just fine? Any comments?
Hi. I think that, as you said, or as you're suggesting, information is more and more available everywhere. So before coming here, I already knew what places or things I was interested in and wanted to see. However, something that did worry me more than that was the fact that I could spot 4 or 5 projects in, I don't know, more than I could spot especially one project more than 8 times in many of the different pavilions, which means that even the research that previous to the pavilions, it's been very, very influenced by the media, because I cannot think that there are no more projects more than these 4 or 5 that are like omnipresent throughout the entire presentation. So I am somehow a bit worried about somehow also the previous research for each pavilion is being heavily influenced by mediatic images or presence of certain projects. And yeah, that's the comment.
Thank you. Okay. So if you have any last comments, Sevim, we would be happy to hear. Or if not, then we can also thank you for your contribution.
Thank you. Thank you too.
Perfect. Well, we will post some results from our projects. Have you been to the Biennale?
Not this year. Not this year.
Okay. If you somehow manage to visit it, then yeah, maybe you will see some of the results from our work. But thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.